Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the DEVORAH in Mida Gimel, the third attribute, which is V'oiver al Pesha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu removes the iniquity of a person, and we discussed at length. Hashem Himself comes and He cleanses the mistakes of the person, the filth that is on their spiritual clothing. He gets rid of the damage that they have done. That's the chesed and the rachamim and the anivus, the humility of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's the way that we are supposed to act as well. That when somebody does something wrong, they stray from the path, and they want to come back, they want to do tshuva, even if they did things against us, we're here to help. We're here to help them. We're here to keep the pathways of communication open. We're here to give them the ability to return if they want, to cleanse themselves and do what is right. And he ended off yesterday, which is the conclusion of this chapter, of Mikan Yizbayesh Adam Lashuv Lachata. A person therefore should be embarrassed to go back to their sins. Because Hashem Himself is the one that we're causing and we're bothering to come and clean us up. And therefore, once that you sin and you do tshuva, you're not going to want to go back to sinning again in this particular area, because you realize that you are being matriach, you're bothering Hashem to do everything, and what a chutzpah that would be. I want to leave you off with a story that I just heard yesterday about one of the people that was saved miraculously on October 7th from the music festival. How a person, if they get into that place inside of themselves to recognize what is real and what is true and what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us, a person can transform themselves. There was, everybody knows already, I'm not going to go into the gruesome details of what took place, but it was total chaos and pandemonium by that music festival when the terrorists came in and they began killing and looting and pillaging and raping and vicious cruelty what they did. There was 2 or 3, I believe, chaverim, friends that were there, and they started running for their lives. And they ran and they ran and they ran, and they finally made it into some kind of a bathroom area. There was like a bathroom with different stalls. And they got into this area and they went to, I think it was 2 of them, went into the stall. And other people had run into the other stalls as well. And they run in there and they decided, you know what, don't lock the door, because if you lock it, there's like a red line that comes on the outside that shows that it's occupied. Let's leave it green. Let's leave it so it looks unoccupied, so perhaps that they won't think there's anybody that's in there. And then while they were in there, these are people that they were not religious. These are people that who knows what averas they had committed, even just that day alone already. It's Shabbos, it's Yom Tov, it's Simchas Torah, they're not keeping anything. Who knows what the mingling of men and women was, and who knows all the drugs and alcohol, who knows what was going on. That's not the point. The point is that this one fellow was stuck there in this bathroom, and he was davening his head off, his kishkas off, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should save him. And in a very long monologue that he gave to Hashem, where he poured out his heart, he began to apologize. Please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, forgive me. Forgive me for the mistakes that I made in my past. Forgive me for the mistakes that I made with all the averas and the sins. And I promise you, if you'll give me a chance to survive this nightmare that's going on right now, and I will come home safely to my parents, that they should not mourn the loss of their child, I promise you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I will change my life around. I will dedicate myself to you. I will start keeping Shabbos. I will start putting on tefillin. I will become a Jew that you're going to be proud of. I'm begging you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, please, please let me live and let my parents see my face once again and not have to mourn me by my levaya, by my funeral. Please, Hashem. And when it went on like this, he kept davening and davening and davening. At one point, in the midst of their prayers, where they hear all the carnage going on outside, the screaming and the yelling and the shooting and the violence, suddenly they hear footsteps coming into the bathroom area. And they hear in Hebrew the words, anyone in there? This is the IDF. Is anyone in there? It's the IDF. Come out, come out. We've come to save you. And this man is about to open the door. He's so grateful. Finally, the IDF is there, and his friend pulls his hand and says, "Don't. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's the terrorists. It's a trick. Don't do it." And again, they start screaming, "IDF, IDF, come out. We're here to save you. We're here to save you." And the guy's about to go, and he says, "Please, it's a trick. I'm telling you, don't go out." And they yell a third time, "IDF, IDF, come out of there. Come out of there." And he's about to open the door. And his friend says, "Please, it's a trick, don't." And the next thing they know, they hear the doors next to them from the kids that are in the other stalls open up to go and greet the IDF. And it's terrorists, and they open fire, and they kill everybody else that's in there. And these two men, they survive. Finally, after 8 hours of living in this Gehenna, in this cell of death, where they're just davening to Hashem, they hear new voices in Hebrew coming in, and they understand the way that they're talking, it really is the IDF. And they open the door, and they look all around them, and there's dead bodies everywhere of the people that opened the doors before to the terrorists, and they survived. And this young man, true to his word, he promised, and he begged, and he pleaded with the Rabbi, "Save my life, and I will change my life." And sure enough, he did. And he has, for the last 6 weeks of his life, he has been keeping Shabbos, and keeping kashrus, and putting on tefillin. He transformed himself. And that's what we're saying over here. When you realize that from the mistakes that you make, and the sins that you commit, and the affairs that you get yourself involved in, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that has to come and cleanse you afterwards. So you're not going to return to the sin. You're not going to go back to doing what you were doing before, because you don't want to be matriach. You don't want to bother HaKadosh Baruch Hu another time. Rather, you'll live in a place of tshuva. You'll live in a place of kedusha. You'll live in a place where you're doing the mitzvahs. And in that zechus im Yetz Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will continue to remove the iniquity from you, and you will be sensitive to others, and you will learn to remove the iniquity and help to cleanse them from their mistakes, from their sins, even if it's against you. But you'll act in a godly way, and you will take care of the dirt that is built up on top of their neshamas. Have a wonderful day.